Hello, everyone. How are you? It is our great pleasure to be here with everyone to culminate this wonderful event. I hope everybody can hear me okay. Susan, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So like I said, it is a great pleasure to be here with all of you, to have Susan Spezzini with us. For us, as you know, Susan's been one of our founders, and so we really appreciate having her every year support the virtual part of our conference. This year she was with us in Paraguay working on a Fulbright grant that she received. She was with us at the National University of Asunción, and working with her, we want to share with you the project that we have, that we've been working on in the almost past full year, which is an open resource book for educating future teachers. So with everybody's permission, I will start sharing my screen so that, let me see, because I normally don't have these issues for whatever reason. I don't, my presentation got closed, but now it's open. So
But we can't see it.
I will share my screen now. Can everybody see that?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So let me see if I can share it like this. So like I said, I approached Susan several years ago about her coming to Paraguay to work with us with our future graduate programs, which are still in the making and hopefully coming very soon. And she applied for a Fulbright scholarship, and she received the grant to come to Paraguay. And I approached her regarding the possibility of collaborating on this project, which is a book that we could use with our students, and hopefully other institutions could also use with their students, to that is not limited to having the copyright issues, because sometimes textbooks can be very expensive and our students don't have the means to legally access some of these textbooks that may be very expensive. Our libraries sometimes don't have the subscriptions necessary to access copyrighted books. So the idea was to gather some of our own faculty who have expertise in certain areas of English teaching, and also reach out to colleagues in other countries that can help us with this project. So that's where Susan came in. And I would like Susan now to say hi to everybody and say her part. We don't want to take too much time, because we know that we have a great, one of our great collaborators is giving the keynote talk in a few minutes. So Susan.
Well, it's a great pleasure to be here. And I want to thank Valentina for inviting me to be one of the editors on this book. And when Valentina asked me to do this a year ago, I wasn't so positive about this, but I became very, very positive, and it's going to be great. And so thank you very much, Valentina, for inviting me. And I spent May, June, July in Paraguay working on this, and I continue to work on it several hours each week, even though I do have a full-time job like everybody else at my home institution at the University of Alabama at Birmingham. But my dean, everybody at my university is very supportive of this as well.
Yeah, so we started with, our proposal was for 30 chapters, but the project grew to what we have now, and hopefully I think we will reach the 56 chapters that are planned. We have some chapters that are still a little bit iffy, but hopefully we're going to be able to close those and divide it into 10 different sections with chapters ranging from 4 to 9 chapters each section. And we have 63 authors from 10 different countries. So you can imagine this is, and this is in large part due to the collaboration between Susan, myself, and also our dear friend Gracia Mendoza, who also helped us reach out to some colleagues around the region. So Susan will be presenting the first edition.
We're going to go 2 slides per person, so let's see how we can collaborate here. Division A is the introduction to the book, and it's this division is called World of English Language Teaching, and there are 4 chapters there, and Valentina and I will start off by giving an overview of the book and calling this chapter Teaching of English in Global Contexts. Then we have the Diversity of Englishes Around the World by Dr. Leslie Barrett from Indiana, the USA. And then the Diversity of English Classes by Remigio Diaz in Paraguay. And then Humanism in English Language Teaching by Brian Meadows, United States in New Jersey. Then in Division B is about the learners. Who are our learners? Building Relationships with Language Learners is written by Stephanie Montiel in Alabama, USA. Supporting Learners' Socio-Emotional Learning by Gracia Mendoza, Honduras, who you will hear shortly. Embracing Young Learners by Monica Gandolfo, Beatriz Damiana, and Laura Caperochipe in Argentina. Teaching and Engaging Adolescent Learners by Mexico, and Empowering Adults for Autonomous Learning by Maura Salimben in Paraguay.
Yeah, and some of these, okay. And then we have our, I think this is one of our longest divisions. We have language learning and use. And in this section, we have Harshini Lawani with Building Language Awareness from Paraguay, Explicit and Implicit Learning in Second Language Acquisition by Carla Fernandez from Paraguay as well. Using Social Media to Enhance Language Awareness by Silvia Terol and Jessica Amarilla in Paraguay. Then we have Designing Learner-Centered Classrooms to Promote Active Learning by Heather Kaiser in the USA, Alabama. Then we have Promoting Thinking Skills to Enhance Language Learning by Christina Sandy from Maryland in the United States. Exploring Meaning Through Translation and Translanguaging Practices by Kayleen Liu and Julie Choi from Melbourne, Australia. Then we have Translanguaging to Facilitate Affect in Language Learning by Ruberbal Maciel and Claudia Rocha from Brazil. Using Interjections in Interactive Conversations by Aida Rodomanchenko from Russia. And finally, providing feedback on learners' language output by Christian Christoffel in Paraguay. The next division is the context for language teaching and learning. And we have Teaching English in Different Contexts by Remigio Diaz. We have Incorporating Inclusive Education Practices in English Language Teaching by Rocio Mazzoleni, our PARATESOL president. Then we have Creating an EFL Classroom Community by Becky Crosby and Diana Carter in Indiana in the United States. We have Connecting Students' Interaction with Classroom Management by Gracia Mendoza in Honduras. Again, she will be speaking to us shortly. Strengthening Communication Through Classroom Discourse by Ken Buckley S. in the United States. Then we have Integrating Technology in Language Classrooms by Holly Hubbard and Chad Strong and Amanda Foss in Alabama, the United States. We have Teaching Virtual and Hybrid Classrooms by Yulia Gretseva and Elena Sirakyova from Russia. And finally, Preparing to Teach Through Effective Lesson Planning by Harshini Lawani in Paraguay.
Division E focuses on content and language integration. We start off with Counterbalancing Content and Language Integrated Learning by Alberto Roca Alvarez, Paraguay. Then Implementing Actionable Gamification Design in English Language Teaching by Fernando Esquivel Vera, Paraguay. Then Teaching English Through Literature by Style Rufinelli de Ortiz, Paraguay. Then Using Theater When Teaching English by Carolina Ortiz in Paraguay and Matthew Vacchi, USA, DC. Incorporating Music in the ELT Classroom by Antoniel Carrasquel, Paraguay. And Employing Translation Interpretation in English Language Teaching by Silvia Terol, Paraguay. The Division F is about methods and approaches. Here we have Major English Language Teaching Trends in the 20th Century by Clara Onatra and Sandra Palencia, Colombia. Current Approaches in English Language Teaching by Nicolás Dantas, Uruguay. Alternative Approaches in English Language Teaching by Gabriel Díaz Majoli, Uruguay. Inquiry-Based Teaching and Critical Thinking by Valentina Canese, Paraguay. Task-Based Approach with Adult Learners by Ignacio Jiménez and Cintia Rolón, Paraguay. Engage, Study, Activate with Adult Learners by Cintia Rolón and Ignacio Jiménez, Paraguay. And Approaches to Teaching Grammar by Catherine Davies, Josephine Prado, and Julia Austin, USA, Alabama.
Then in Division G, we cover teaching strategies, and our authors are as follow. We have Strategies to Teach Listening by Elena Núñez from Paraguay. We have Strategies to Teach Speaking by Susan Spezzini from Alabama, the United States. Strategies to Teach Reading by Elena Kryukova from Russia and Melinda Harrison from the United States. We have Strategies to Teach Writing by Melinda Harrison from Alabama, the United States of America. Strategies to Teach Integrated Skills by Lynn Fuller from the United States. From Mississippi, Strategies to Teach Pronunciation by Susan Spezzini from Alabama, the United States, and Strategies to Teach Vocabulary by Valentina Fatnak from South Dakota, the United States. Division H is our shortest division, but we have, and it focuses on assessment. We have 4 chapters. We have a first Introduction to Language Assessment by Natalie Kuhlman from California, the United States of America. Then we have Authentic Assessment of, for, and as Learning by Gabriel Díaz Majoli from Uruguay. Then we have International Frameworks to Assess Language Development by Elena Núñez from Paraguay. And finally, e-portfolios to assess language learning by Briseida Jiménez Velázquez in the United States of America.
And I made a mistake on Briseida Jiménez Velázquez. She's not from the US. And I forget.
She's from Mexico. So
right. Okay. And so that's an error.
Yes. So we will be changing that in our future presentation. Right. And Susan?
Okay. Yes. The final chapter is Division J. And some people think it should be I, but I looks like 1. And so I made it J. Career Development and Enhancement. Here we have Developing Intercultural Competencies by Lisette Rojas Barreto, Eduardo Mosquera Perez, and Jairo Enrique Castañeda Trujillo, Colombia. Observing in the Transformative Teaching Process by Verónica Sánchez Hernández and Jonathan Puón Castro, Mexico. Becoming a Reflective Practitioner Through Active Action Research by Valentina Canese, Paraguay. Doing Research in the EFL Undergraduate Classroom by Araceli Salas, Mexico. Proposing Collaborative Professionalism Among Pre-Service Teachers by Diana Pineda, Colombia. And Building and Engaging Your Professional Community by Mark Algren, USA, Missouri. And here, just the next one, just publishing via Creative Commons, which is like Valentina said, this book, which hopefully will be ready and up on our website in November, if not shortly thereafter, is available to everybody free of charge, not just at the National University of Asunción or the ISL, but to everyone in Paraguay and around the world. And I've already had people asking me about it, and I say, it's not ready yet. And so for those of you who are authors, we will be reaching out to you for a release statement in the next couple of weeks.
Thank you, Susan. And it will be also posted on Google Books so that people can access it from that international channel. We appreciate the support of everyone who's collaborated, especially all of our authors. And I would like to especially thank Susan for joining me in this endeavor, because it's been a lot of work for everyone, and most especially for her. She's been really committed to this project, and I'm really, really appreciative of her commitment and her engagement in this task. We would like to thank all of the faculty at the Instituto Superior de Lenguas, all of the authors, like I said, the doctoral students at the University of Alabama, and some of our special authors who also help with guidance and advice, Natalie Kuhlman, Leslie Barrett, Gabriel Diaz-Majoli, Gracia Mendoza, and Mark Algren, who helped us a lot in this process, and who will be joining us at TESOL, the TESOL convention next year, to also present about this project. And we would like to also thank the support of the National University of Asunción, and especially the Facultad de Filosofía, under which the editorial house we're going to be publishing this book, the University of Alabama at Birmingham, where the dear Susan is at Department of Curriculum and Instruction and the School of Education, the TESOL International Association, for providing a room for some of our authors to meet during the 22 convention, and for accepting our proposal to present a panel symposium during the 23 convention in Portland, Oregon. And finally, last but not least, the Fulbright Scholar Program, which allows Susan to come to Paraguay to visit with colleagues and friends who dearly appreciated her being here with us. And finally, we'd like to thank everyone who's attending this conference. We would like to invite you to our, also we have the third Paraguayan Congress of Applied Linguistics. We would like to encourage all of you to present proposals, to give presentations on any research project that you might be engaged in. It could be also a classroom experience that you have that you would like to share. The call for proposals is now open. You can access it by going to www.compla.org, or you can reach us by email. There's our email, Canese@field.una.py, or Susan's email at Spezzini@uab.edu.